Welcome back, everyone, to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Finals. It's 2-0 here to the KT Rolster Bullets. Can they win it here?
If they get Kazakhs again, I feel like they're in a very big advantage. It's been such an issue for fnatic. They don't know how to deal with it. I really feel this is the time where you just band away and see what else Insect can actually do.
And I'm wondering about that as well, because he's been a constant pain in the rear end for them, basically, in both of these games so far. I mean, what would you then not ban against them than replace it with the Kazakhs?
That's the whole issue of the game. The champ select is in favor of KT Bullets. Doesn't matter which side they're on. They just have more picks due to the fact they have so many very strong top laners actually to go against whatever Fnatic decides to pick. Means they have so many more things to actually play around with, and it's so hard for Fnatic. They don't play Lulu mid lane. It's a key pick as well. They need to band away every single game because they don't want to first pick it themselves unless they put it on Source.
Exactly. They look at what Gambit did. What did Gambit do to nearly win that game? Alexich first picked it. They either do that or they ban it out. It simply has to happen. I just saw Gambit in the tunnel, and they even said themselves, it's like, what is going on here? They need to be dealing with this Kazakhs. And, you know, you can see multiple players, pros, everybody looking at it and saying about this Kazakhs, why they're not taking away. That ultimate, when evolved, it's like almost a 50% damage reduction. It's like basically having an Alistair straight there. And the Kazakhs ban finally coming out from Fnatic along with the Ziggs from KTB.
So they don't want to first pick it because, again, I don't even know who from Fnatic would actually play it, so wisely enough, they band away. Also the Sivir now, removing the on the hunt, the utility that KT Bullets have been using to catch them out to start fights. And again, they played Sivir themselves, Fnatic, but they didn't use the ultimate correctly. They didn't really get the full effect of it, so they just, simply enough, they decide to band away here, and I like the fact they change up everything.
Yeah, I felt like we only really saw On the Hunt being popped when they were trying to run away.
More or less.
Most of the time in that one. Lulu also going to be banned out here by the KT Bullets. They have obviously no interest in letting Fnatic first pick that one, or maybe even wanting it themselves.
It's actually funny they're the ones banning it away because Fnatic normally is the team to ban Lulu, but they don't want to take the chance. They don't want to risk their first pick from Fnatic here because, again, they might not know that Peck is not playing Lulu.
Kassadin going out. They had to get rid of it, really, didn't they? I mean, there's no way they can let Wildhammer through. What do we think KT Bullets? I mean, we saw Renekton being picked up by the SOAS, countered by Rise, and nobody really had an answer to Rise in the last one. This is something we've seen developing in the Korean scene. Nobody in Europe has picked this up yet.
No, again, that's the whole thing with the Korean scene or KT Bullets. They have so many answers for all these top lane picks we in Europe love, and we think, oh, these are the strongest ones, nothing can counter them, and they just keep pulling up pick after pick that's working. And now, first picking LeBlanc, making sure...
Insta-lock. Lee Sin, like that.
Yeah, so Insect, he gets his Lee Sin. Let's see what he can do on it here, because Kha'Zix, of course, was banned away. If he's able to do more or less the same on Kha'Zix, on Lee Sin now, he will just be even more annoying as well, because I can just imagine him starting the fights, going in, kicking someone back into his team, and just, boom, there's a kill.
And Lucian possibly going to be the second choice for them in here, and that's what I said before, you know, if you take away the Kazakhs, he's gonna have the Lee Sin available to him. We all know how good, how terrifyingly good Insec is with Lee Sin. The Lucian was also locked in.
Yeah, but at least Fnatic, they have experience playing against Lee Sin jungle, and they know how it works here. The Kazakhs, that was the whole issue. They tried to focus him down in team fights. It didn't work. He was too tanky simply, and also with his ultimate, he took less damage. It was such an issue for them. And with the LeBlanc pick, just to quickly touch on their first pick, they also make sure Rio isn't having this assassin, and that if KT Bullets have the same vision control like last game, they don't have to worry about being one-shotted by LeBlanc.
Well, Yellowstar has finally got onto Thresh. It was being used as a ban, I think, in the first 2 games now. So this is the first time that Yellowstar's been able to get on Thresh. It worked very well from against Cloud9, and again, we are seeing the Pantheon from Sinai.
And the Pantheon pick here, they're simply running out of junglers. Evelynn was an option. Of course, we've seen Wukong jungle from Sinai in the past, but with 2 junglers banned away and of course Lee Sin instant locked, he had to fall back on this Pantheon here. And again, early game aggression is key when you have Pantheon. You need to get something with your ultimate, and if he can manage to do that, he will be able to help out his lanes.
Interesting as well, if you were looking at the player cams, you'll notice Cyanide, they left it until the very last second, and then he was shaking his head as though they were almost forced to do that and they weren't quite sure exactly what they were going with. See how that works out this time around. The KT Bullets picking up Gragas and Karma again.
So KT Bullets with a lot of wave clear already here. They have both Lucian and Gragas and of course the Karma. So they will now be able to get the lead and then simply start sieging down. If the last pick from them is going to be a split pushing champion, we can see them do what Fnatic should have done in game 1 when they got ahead, keeping one guy pushing a lane and keep the rest of your team together just pushing up the turrets. But let's see what they actually do. And Insect, he just changed to teleport.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is a change-up for Fnatic finally. Aatrox, it was banned away from Fnatic for the first few games of this tournament, and the Vayne locked in for Reckless, which is going to be tricky against the Lucian Karma.
It's going to be a very hard laning phase for him unless they actually decide to lane swap away. If he can survive the laning phase, if he can get the needed farm, I actually like this Vayne pick, because the issue for Fnatic so far have been the fact they didn't know what to do mid-game. Now, you actually have scaling into late game, so even if you do nothing mid-game, you will at least have very good team fights later on with something like Vayne.
And remember the last time the LeBlanc was picked up by opposition by Alex Sitch, it was KTB that rotated into that. They went for the 2v1 on LeBlanc, and I'm wondering, with that Karma pick, they're probably going to do the same.
They can do it, but they can also simply say, we want to try and find your dual lane. We want to try and swap with you up to the top lane if you're swapping there, and just keep Gragas mid lane against the LeBlanc. It was actually with Gragas as well they did the whole swap thing, so we can see what they do at level 1, but they definitely have multiple options, and with Renekton, of course, they have the very strong early game laning phase. So KT Bullets, no matter which lanes they actually go into, it can be in their favor.
Well, we can see the roles being swapped around here, so Leopard in the top lane with Renekton. Soaz is still sat on LeBlanc here with Aatrox in the mid lane for Pekka. I'm expecting that's going to change in the next 40 seconds though.
We have seen him play LeBlanc top.
We have.
You need to remember this. But yeah, I expect it to change around, see the Aatrox top lane, or possibly Aatrox top of course, against Renekton or in the 1v2. Look at KT Bullets' whole team here. Late game damage wise, they will be falling off. Lee Sin and Renekton, they don't provide too much damage in the late game. Gragas really spikes around the 20, 30, 40 minute mark here, and then going longer into the game, the cooldowns is gonna start being an issue for him. He will not be able to do the same amount of damage as LeBlanc if he's stacking his cooldown reduction. And of course Vayne. Vayne in the late game is one of the best AD carries you can have. So good at killing these tanks. Renekton dashes towards her, condemn him away, just deal the damage constantly. And the dive potential from KT Bullets, yes, they have Lee Sin and Renekton, but if you can tumble around this with your stealth, you will be able to avoid them. And then there's nothing else to follow up. There's no hard CC to instantly lock you down.
If they can get there to that late game.
If they can get to the late game.
We'll see about that one. This is certainly a tricky matchup for them.
To be fair though, the early game for Fnatic is not horrible. With the Pantheon here, they have a lot of early on aggression. Of course, Lee Sin is very, very strong. If Lee Sin is in the right place at the right time, if he can counter gang Cyanide, he will be so strong, and he'll be stronger than Cyanide in the 1v1s. So we can see Insect actually staying in the jungle once again, trying to find Cyanide here. But yeah, laning phase-wise, early game-wise, Fnatic, they need to survive it. They need to get into this mid-game and just continue trying to farm, and then maybe even start split-pushing late game. You have Vayne in one lane, you have Aatrox in the other lane, and you just keep the 3 members in mid. And then Pantheon, he can always jump to the sides if someone is getting in trouble.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3. Will it be the final one? KT Bullets will certainly be hoping so. They will be starting out as the red team, and they are up against Fnatic in that blue trunks, and they have a mammoth task ahead of them now to get this tournament, to get their name on that trophy, to join the likes of Gambit Gaming, or back then it was the Moscow 5, and of course Zubu Blaze. They will have to go 3 games in a row against KT Bullets, and that seems like a mammoth task, but let's not rule them out. They are going for a big level 1 tactic, both teams going aggressive 5-man stacks.
KT Bullets were actually waiting for Fnatic to face check him up here in the top lane, maybe landing a hook with Yellowstar onto the 1 member in the bush, and then if he actually attached with the hook, and the rest of the members were there to just punish Fnatic. Fnatic though decided to go towards the blue buff instead, and they might look for an early steal.
Pekka waiting off that side, and the tri-bush here filled with Fnatic players as well. Same pretty much over on the top side, although the Bullets are still in their own side of the jungle. Everyone is starting to recall right now. And by everyone, I mean Leopard for the KT Bullets, and I think pretty much everyone over on the Fnatic side.
So what KT Bullets is doing here, they're simply expecting Fnatic to lane swap. That's why Leopard, he already recalled. He's gonna go down to the spot lane, and look who's going towards the top lane from Fnatic. It is, of course, Reckless and Yellowstar. So predicting the lane swap here for KT Bullets. Let's see if they send their dual lane in the mid, or they keep them up top.
Currently Bullets are moving down that river in towards fnatic's blue buff, and we can see that fnatic hogging that left-hand wall as they go up towards the top side of the map. They're going to take this blue buff away. Renekton actually just making sure that their own blue buff wasn't going to be stolen.
And they're sending Rio top lane here with Gragas, so it's going to be the 2 mid again with the Karma, constantly poking down onto Xpeke early on, trying to get some good damage on the turret and just keep all the pressure in the favor of KT Bullets. And this is also where we can see Insec really go aggressive inside the jungle of fnatic, because he will have the support of Karma and Lucian to help him if something should go wrong.
He has rotated round. We are seeing that 2v1 as we mentioned, which we saw against Gambit, and we'll see if it works out, who it favors the most. Of course, Peke's farm I expect to be a little bit lower than normal, whereas Ryu may well keep up. Insect going for his second blue buff. He's getting greedy on them ones. I'm wondering if he's going to give it across. No, we're taking that one. It is all his jungle.
And now they're of course giving a lot of early farm here to Vayne, but they don't really seem to care about this unless we can see a lot of action towards the top lane. Of course, Karma can roam up there. Lee Sin can gank it to try and shut him down. Gragas, he's farming fairly well in this 1v2. You can see him with the barrels, just trying to clear out some minions, and the wave for him is looking fine. Cyanide though, he wants an early gank onto Rio.
Last time we saw this against Gambit, they fast pushed. They were trying to take down that middle turret, and Gambit didn't respond in his top lane. fnatic, are they going to do the same? It looks like they wanted the 3-man dive. They landed the hook straight in, Joe.
This could be bad news for Rio. Is he going to flash underneath his turret here for the kill? He's going to come down. It is actually Reckless that gets it. First blood going on to Vayne.
Absolutely perfect. Insec, he's busy doing his third buff here, so he was nowhere near to help. And simply due to the hook from Yellowstar on the champion that was banned away in the first 2 games, they set up the first blood for Vayne.
Well, the crowd trying to rile up fnatic, trying to get them going, trying to get something creative from this one. Score getting aggressed upon by Peke. A little bit aggressive maybe, a little bit too much. Peke, Cyanide, sorry, is in trouble here. See, Insect fancied that one. He got double buff on. He did have Rio coming back in support. They've got to be careful they didn't go hang around too long like they did last game. Ooh, yeah, hello, Soaz.
And not only did they actually get the first blood and a lot of damage onto the turret, they denied Rio the entire wave because he was dead. 2 or 3 minion waves into the turret, all gone for him. He's only level 2 at the moment.
So as down his bottom lane did go very low from Leopard a little bit earlier on. Peke being harassed down in that mid lane, this 1 versus 2 scenario as well. So as doing his best to keep up here, but he's already fallen 10 CS behind that of Leopard.
Now again, the jungle assistance came to the top lane, so no help for Soaz here. He needs to just handle himself against this Renekton. Very, very strong early game, and Leopard, he's been so good in this final. Every single lane matchup for him has gone very, very good for him.
Yeah, Soaz did go full defensive tree. I had a quick peek at that before we started out, so I'm making sure he's got a lot of life still, a lot of defense in there, and he's going to need it seemingly against Leopard. Leopard getting some good trade on him, but Soaz is not being passive this time around. He's been rather aggressive on Leopard, making sure he stays in it. He has got that Bloodwell passive, of course, available to him. Doesn't want to pop it, but he's chugging through everything he can to stay alive in this top bottom lane.
I wonder if Leopard's actually going to go aggressive onto him and get rid of that Bloodwell so that Insect can have an easier time if they do decide to come down. Either way, first turret of the game is going to be falling here in the favor of KTB.
And Insect, he's around this top lane if something should happen here, but the turret is very, very low. They need to clear this wave out if they want to keep the turret alive.
Well, it's been a good farm, good trade. Reckless has kept himself fairly close to Score, who's been farming very well in that mid lane, effectively free farming against Peke. And it's really the mid laners we should be talking about, Rio and Peke, because they're both only at 10 CS, so their relevance is going to be a little bit hampered. We are seeing Maffa making his move up here. Insects lying in wait. They're going back in, Joe.
Going in towards Yellowstar, first of all. That's a good condemn coming in towards Insect. Well, there's a flash from Maffa. Actually misses the slow. Yellowstar doesn't have that flash available, and he is going to be going down from this one. Rio picks up the kill.
And they delay the turret from going down with this gank. Sana though, he's around his bottom lane, and Leopard, he's level 6 and aggressive.
Jumping on towards Soaz, he's going to get the big bounce up. The stun will come back out. The Bloodwell spawned here. Is it going to be enough? No, he's going to get flash away. Leopard still gets in. Cyanide just didn't do enough, and now he has to back away because Leopard is going to push on with that dominance, gets the double slice and dice, forces the flash from Cyanide.
And the level 6 Renekton is just dominating this lane. He got the level 6 just when Cyanide arrived in, popped the ultimate, and simply just turned it around.
That is a cause for concern here for Fnatic, that is certainly for sure. And Score here actually sticking around this mid lane, despite the fact that they did take the turret already. They're not going to be rotating out of that one. Want to keep denying Peke as much farm as they can. Ryu is in fact ahead of Peke overall in that front, and 10 CS lead that Score has over Reckless is also a great start for them.
And we need to remember the kill onto Gragas from the gank before here, so he's been getting some gold at least. He's going to return now to this top lane. The turret again, it's very, very low. It just requires a few hits from Reckless and they can take it down, and then Fnatic can rotate elsewhere with their dual lane. But what KT Bulls are doing so smart here is they're going towards the dragon, because two members from Fnatic are still stuck in the top lane.
Nobody able to respond to this one for Fnatic. This is going to be given free across the KT Bullets, and honestly, it's been well earned. Top tower will go down. They're finally going to finish that one off. They were trying to burn out as many farm as they could from Leopard, who has probably going to return in towards that top lane. We're still seeing Ryu at the moment, but it's continuous advantages for KT Bullets in the early game.
A very good early game start for KT Bullets, getting the turret of course, also they got the dragon here, so they've been doing well with this lane swap. And of course Leopard down in this bot lane, he is the highlight, he's doing so well.
Absolutely dumping on Soaz at this point, as we're going to see Insect coming in towards this one. There is a slow coming down. Soaz not going to escape, and he's finished off. Second kill coming down for Leopard in this bottom lane. It needed a bit of help from Insect there, but not masses of it. And there is Maffa rotating around perfectly. This is another tower.
Another thing, KT Bulls are doing so well with these two people in the mid lane. Maffa is always roaming around here, coming down to bot lane, helping of course getting the turret. Not that his help was really needed, but he's gonna come back up here to the top lane. They need to be careful because it's four members from Fnatic and Gragas is in the top lane.
They're keeping the pressure on this middle turret. They want to try and take some advantage from this one. They've just seen their towers tumbling. Look who's sneaking around the side. It's not going to get in there in time. And then Ryu, oh, now they're going to go on towards Yellow Star. Maffa does manage to land. The leash gets the stun, the lock upon him. He's going to try and turn this one back around. Still hasn't got his ultimate. It's a good play. They do see Insect going down. Yellow Star's going to fall as well. And Leopard's a giant beast, and Reckless just simply has to run away from this KT Bullets team that is unstoppable so far.
1-for-1 trade, that one in the end. Kills ending up with Karma, actually, which is not even that bad of a thing, because we've seen that he has gone that more penetration, a bit more damage, so that's only going to help him out in the future. And we see them already coming in towards Vayne in this top lane. There is a ward there, so Reckless is going to back away, but blue buff is up. That's going to be available for the steal. Peke waiting in the wings here off to the side as well.
And Peke is very low on mana, so if a fight should break out, he won't be able to do too much. He might be trying to just steal away this blue buff, but KT Bulls actually backing off for now.
They had vision of it. Leopard with that Tiamat is continuing to just carve his way through the Fnatic lineup. They have given Soaz a small respite down in this bottom turret, which may actually buy him some time with that siege minion to take a good chunk out of that tower. Not too sure he's going to take it this time around. Insect is heading that way, but he's going to say whether he's going to start the blue buff off. He's not interested. He's going to go defensive.
And we of course have to remind everyone to notice this Vayne here with more action onto Soaz. Insect, can he go for something?
He's going to keep chasing through this one. It's all about whether Soaz can dodge the Q, and actually he can't. Insect coming in. Man drop will come around. There was a kick. Bloodwell did come back up, and Insect has to back off.
So Insect forcing out both the ultimate from Cyanide and also the passive from Soaz. As I was about to say before, we need to remember, we already have Blade of the Rune King onto Vayne, 10 minutes and 30 seconds in, 2 kills and the top farmer in the game. So Reckless, he's looking very strong already.
He's the only thing that's looking strong. Sadly though for Fnatic, as that explosive cask is forcing them away. Blue buff, that's going to be given across to Ryu, who comes across, rolls that barrel in there. And they will continue their dominance. And remember, KT Bullets, they just have to take this game, and they are starting to look very confident in game 3 so far. Their rotation seemingly immaculate.
And I think a bit of problem for Fnatic as well. They've proven it already in the LCS this year that they're not a team that reacts well to losing streaks, you know. They get down very, very easily. They've lost 2 games in a row now. They're finding it very tough. This time around, 2,500 gold is already the difference between these two teams, and Ryu now is back to farming ways in this mid lane. Credit to Peke though, only 7 CS behind right now.
And let's actually see what Fnatic can do once we get more into the mid game, because it's been the issue for them in the first 2 games. KT Bulls have been better, rotating around the map with the vision control, at least in game 2, and that's where Fnatic couldn't do anything. And now notice up here, Soa's going very aggressive.
He's got the support as well. We can see Cyanide and Yellowstar all coming in, but they've got to be careful. Ryu's making a rotate round, and it's simply going to be defensive duties in the end. That death sentence did not land from Yellowstar, and Ryu quickly warded out. They pinged it, and they were worried about him, and rightly so. Now Reckless, he's got to be careful because Insect is sniffing for more.
But notice the very good ward control here for Fnatic. They have full vision of Insect coming into the jungle, so they make sure that Reckless can stay down in this bot lane and farm away and not being ganked away, because Renekton with the Blade Rune King onto Vayne, he will be able to at least escape him if he goes towards him.
Top turret is being pressured even further, as we are going to see them going in towards Reckless. There's a kickback, the Q lands from Insect, and that is a kill in the bot lane and the turret in the top lane.
You're just silent.
Well, at least that vision of Insect coming in, they didn't see him go out, and then they simply dived him. Pega was actually moving down early on, but then he turned around, moved back to the mid lane, and then they simply just straight up dive on Reckless. So KT Bulls, at least they know which member they need to shut down here. It's of course the Vayne, and despite the good vision controls, they still got the kill on him.
They are pushing all 3 lanes right now, and Fnatic have no answer to this one. They are already 4,000 gold behind just 13 minutes into this game. We saw them getting a 17-minute inhibitor it was against Millennium, but don't think it's going to quite be that quick this time around. Insect is going to get caught out. Cyanide putting some good damage down. They may finally catch him out with the explosive cast. Yellowstar has to land the hook. Instead, he's going to be simply used as a trial, something to jump on for Insect, but it is the kill for Peke, and that dragon is up in 10 seconds.
Soaz is still in the top lane. He can move here and help his team out. 2 members are coming from the base from KT Bullet side. So Fnatic, they have the advantage member-wise, but can they actually start the dragon?
I think they're rather scared of Leopard at this point. They know that Ryu has no ultimate. There's no Insect there to go in there for that dragon, but Fnatic scared of that big tank. I say big tanky Renekton. He's got the damage in there as well with the Tiamat and the workings of that Randuin's Omen, and the bullets are simply going to go down there and have that dragon away.
For the new top laner for KT Bullets, they have found a bit of a gem, I feel, in Leopard, because he's been nigh on dominating this tournament. He's never really been in any trouble in that top lane whatsoever. I don't remember any player putting pressure on him, and this is going to be the dragon. Pretty much given across to KT Bullets. Nothing Fnatic can do against him.
And if you look at past international tournaments, whenever we have the Korean teams, the top laners for them are always so fantastic. We really have to give Korea respect for the amount of talented top laners they have.
I think we've got to give them respect for every single lane at the moment. They are so strong in every single department of this game, and that's obviously why they have the world champions in their region, and seemingly the Intel Extreme Masters world champions as well.
Well, it's certainly looking that way. Hard to deny at this point with the 4,000 gold lead for the KT Bullets. Look down some of the items here. AD carry-wise, Bloodthirster is done for Skull. That Blade of the Rune King was collected earlier on for Reckless. So we'll see where their damage is, if they're going to be able to put much in. We saw, I mean, there's not much you can do when you get in Dove 2v1 in the bottom lane. Doesn't matter if you got a Blade or Rune King and whatever else in there, you're going to die.
Exactly. Fnatic needs to be there to support him if it happens. Again, they saw Insect when he came into the jungle, but because he just stayed in there, like Insect likes to do, just stay and wait. They actually thought he was gone again, and that's why Reckless, he could get some farm, and Peggy returned to the mid lane.
Top lane may well be a problem. Oh, Maffa gets spotted out by the Warden. This is going to give Reckless time to back away from that one. Insect already came in, and Maffa's been creating. It's normally been Insect jumping on them. Uh-oh, this is problems. It's a 4v3 in the top lane, and they're jumping on. That's going to be Yellowstar caught out. He uses his ultimate, but it's going to be Reckless that we need to keep our eye on. Yellowstar will go down. The stun on towards from Cyanide does get score, taking him pretty low. They're going to continue chasing this one. Meke tries to come in. The leash goes on towards him. The jump on towards Ryu. They just don't have the damage. The ignite on Skull's not going to be enough, and they take Cyanide down. They chase him, but they just don't have enough. The Condemned sending Insect miles away, but no kills for Fnatic once again.
Some very good damage however from Reckless. We saw how much he can actually do if he's staying in the back here and KT Bulls are not able to get to him, but the blue buff now is up.
Oh my god, Peke nearly getting taken down by Malfa there. The support pulling some serious damage down on the mid laner, who really has not been able to get far. I say that he's 103 CS now, so he's been gaining quite well. But Insect, he's taken yet another blue buff.
And Insect actually tried to flash Sonic Wave onto Pekka here, but due to the ward at the blue buff, he spotted him out and just W'd away.
Good job that he was keeping his eyes on that there, because Sonic Wave would have connected. And here's the Leopard coming back into this bottom lane, and Soaz doesn't want a piece of that one. He's already had a little bit too much trouble with Renekton down there. And see on the other side, for Soaz, he now has that Cutlass in there, chain vest, double Doran's ring and a double Doran's blade, and a Doran's shield as well. So a little bit going in different directions, let's say, for his build for the start here.
Well, maybe he's just channeling his inner Darian with the Aatrox, I don't know, just closing his eyes and clicking the button, see what comes out on Aatrox. As it stands, it's not amounting to a lot.
I like the fact, though, he's actually going for Blade Rune King onto Aatrox, so he's having some split push potential. He will at least be able to, or be better in the 1v1s against Renekton here with the Blade Rune King. So the tactic from Fnatic is definitely going to be keep Vayne in one lane to push, keep Aatrox in a different lane, and you just have Pantheon stay around this mid lane, and he can always jump in and help if something should happen. But they really need to be careful, because KT Bulls at the moment are just playing so well. If they continue to fall behind, they won't be able to split push.
Said in that last game, get rid of Katowice, because Insect has been absolutely everywhere on it. It's not really let up any of that pressure here with Lee Sin. In fact, maybe even more pressure at this early stage of the game.
I think we just have to agree that the champ selected picks for KT Bullets are just top notch, and no matter what Fnatic are actually banning away, they're just new picks for KT Bullets. They're so strong on.
Soaz scored out in the jungle. He's not going to be able to get away. The Bloodwell will pop. The red buff actually is going to finish him off. There's the barrel. The Culling coming out. Has he got the lantern? Yes, he has. And saved by Yellowstar.
But KT Bulls are rotating to the spot lane. The minion wave is already at the turret, and Fnatic is out of position.
And that's going to be a turret, surely, along with the red buff. And there's just not a lot they can do about it. They've hooked a gigantic crocodile. Not what you want, that's for sure. Fnatic back away from this one.
Oh, Q from Insect doesn't quite have the range on it there to land. It is the hook that came in there. Leopard lost a third of his health maybe from that one. As you know, seeing the red buff just finish off. Insect, of course, did take that one with him. They're going to take the entire Fnatic's jungle at this point. Reckless still trying to keep the farm going though. 150 is going to be out there or thereabouts after this wave comes in. But are the bullets going for that middle inner tower? Fnatic might just have to back off once again.
The hook this time does land on Gragas, but there's no backup, no follow-up, nothing to just go in there. And the explosive cast, well, that separates so as he jumps the hell out of it. No Bloodwell this time around, keeping that pressure. Oh, that barrel, nearly taking down Soaz. And Yellowstar this time around. Pekka, he gets punted in there by Lee Sin. Insect doing the work, and it's yet another double kill for score.
And we have to highlight the lack of wave clear from Fnatic here when they try to clear or stop at least KT Bulls from pushing down the turret. Yes, Aatrox have a little, and then you have to distortion in with LeBlanc to clear the wave, but that is a risky move if KT Bulls are nearby. So it's a big issue for them that when they try to defend these turrets, they simply cannot clear the waves fast enough, and KT Bulls can then set up the dives.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they can just harass them constantly. Those Gragas barrels starting to really hurt. Almost the Rabadon's death cap done for Ryu. Also got himself that Athene's Unholy Grail from earlier on. Trinity Force is on its way to being finished by Score as well. And well, if you've got Renekton at the front and he's the one that's getting hooked in every single time, he's not the target that you're going to be looking for. It's hard to really do anything further than that.
I just wonder where Fnatic really could have gone from this one. You know, obviously they've chosen to take away that Kha'Zix to ban it out. And it's a case of do we just ban out completely the jungler, just throw everything at the jungler to take it away and so use that as a first pick, but then you leave so much open for Ryu or maybe even Score, and it's just so many options available for KT Bullets that simply, it seems in terms of like the number of champions available that could be played by KT Bullets is such greater than Fnatic. And well, that's a simple, easy solo dragon for Lee Sin.
Oh, this is bad news. Mangrove actually going to come in. They're going to try and focus Reckless. The hook comes in on towards Score. Gets stunned up as well. Not sure that Score's going to be able to get away. And Maffa is being hammered onto there by Reckless. Flash from both of them. And actually Score's trying to get away. Minions doing the damage in there. Ryu has come in, but very, very late on this one. Does put down the explosive cast. Gets played. And this is going to be another kill. Cyanide picks up that one. 2 men down.
And here we see the power of this Pantheon, because it's actually KT Bullets collapsing onto Fnatic, but due to Pantheon jumping in, he comes in way before and turns the fight around. Careful.
Oh, he's got him! He's got him!
Wow. That was pretty insane, not having the vision over the top there and waiting until he spotted him coming through into the lane. One little auto attack finishes him off, and, well, Reckless, not the ideal thing to happen to you there. Should have probably just backed away when he had the chance. However, Fnatic are utilizing that and have pushed this top lane and have taken an inner turret.
But Insect's moving for them, and Reckless actually playing a little reckless there. Maybe should have stuck with his top lane instead. They are going to find Insect. If they got the damage, they do get the lockup, they get the stun down. Now Peke wants the kill, and he gets it.
And Fnatic is showing this game isn't over yet. They managed to win the skirmish here and push down the turret. Yes, Reckless, he died in the end, but still, they can do this again with Pantheon joining in whenever KT Bullets are trying to shut down Reckless from farming. They can turn around again and again, so very good move and giving some hope.
Hope is exactly what Fnatic and Fnatic fans need at this point. 2-0 down in the grand final, best of 5. They need to win 3 games in a row against a team who has not lost a single game throughout the group stage and the best of 3 semi-final.
Yeah, they've not dropped a match, and you've got to give respect to KT Bullets. And they said it themselves, Ryu, he said he's fed up with being mocked by Korean fans and not picking up anything in the OGN scene. And he's coming to this tournament with the rest of his team. They've pretty much been stealthed up for 3 weeks with KT Arrows and really have practiced very hard for this tournament, and it is paying dividends, it seems. And KT Bullets, they are looking very good. It's going to be very interesting to see when they go back to the OG champions how they perform.
And notice what KT Bullets are doing here. They're just going to say, we're going to ignore Vayne in the bot lane, group up as 5 members, and just start pushing, forcing Fnatic away from the turret, from the tower, and just take now, pushing into the base of Fnatic. And meanwhile, down in bot lane, Reckless all alone.
He's all alone, he's pushed himself and got the outer turret, but is it worth it losing potentially an inhibitor? They've already losing the one single outer turret, and the burst is just simply not there at the moment for Fnatic, and we see KT Bullets just sieging this one down. No reply. Mandrock coming out, but oh my god, it could be deadly. Cyanide goes in, but well, he's just going to get dropped where he stands. The rest of his team not really on the same page, and Fnatic, they're starting to flail a little bit here, and it's going to be an inhibitor picked up for the Bullets.
Insect jumping into the backline of Fnatic once the Mandrock actually came in, made the rest of Fnatic turn to him, and then Sana was just all alone.
Oh, they're pushing still on through on this one. They nearly got in there. The jump from Soaz, is it going to be enough? The Bloodwell's in there, the Ignite running on Score. They may get the kill. No, the shield comes out from Mappa, and Score is safe.
The shield and the Mikhails save Score from dying here, and again, they pick up the inhibitor. Things are looking great for them.
Brilliant push from them. There's 2,000 gold to spend for Renekton, 1,700 there for Lucian. So he's got... Reckless! That was very, very cheeky. Score getting a faster trip home than he was expecting that time around. His Trinity Force is now done, but those are the kind of things that Fnatic need to do if they're to have a chance. Meanwhile, LeBlanc is going to get Gragas away. This is a desperation Baron.
And they just want to try and rush down this Baron. KT Bullets, though, they have already sniffed out what's going on, so they're moving every single member towards the Baron.
Peke trying to burst anything he's got to Ryu, trying to get him down quickly, but look at this, Insect's lying in wait. I'm not too sure this is going to be a wise move. You mentioned it right, Jolie. This is a desperation Baron indeed. Soaz is pushing in. Oh, look at that. Again, Mappa causing so many problems on that Karma. We've seen Karma in the European scene, but it's not worked so well. And, well, Mappa is pretty much showing exactly how it's done.
Yeah, and those walls that Fnatic have put in there going to be cleared straight out as well, and they're going to keep pushing through from this one, I feel. Soaz just starts to back away. Reckless will follow him as well, and, well, they've got 2 options here, middle or bottom lane. I mean, you can see that mid is now pushed out. The bottom lane not quite as good from that's already past the halfway point, but they've got a couple of waves there getting together to push this one down. That's going to come in pretty quickly, probably by the time they're done having a go at this one. But here's the man drop.
Man drop going win once again, but this time not finding a target, and Cyanide has not been that successful and simply hasn't been the time. Again, Crocodile hooked in, not they want. They're going to let that one slip away, and Fnatic are in desperation times here. Soaz almost taken out by the Super Minions. Definitely doesn't want his Bloodwell being used on that.
And KT Bullets can just stay in this mid lane because down in the bottom a big wave is building up, so it's going to force Fnatic to now defend all 3 lanes. And KT Bullets keeping up the pressure.
And that turret down to half HP, and, well, there he goes. Quickly shredded to pieces as XPK is going to take a lot of damage. Has to use his distortion to actually get away there. And Soaz, as soon as he comes in, there's Hawk that they might want to follow up on. Mappa is going to go down. Yellow Star has to flash away. Soaz going very, very low. Does have his blood well available to him, but the damage is there. Oh, they've caught Reckless. He has to flash to the back. Barrier going to be used, but so much damage coming in. Double kill for score. Can they get any more? Peke going to get locked up here, trying to escape. The kick from Lee Sin. The Q will get the kill. This could be game.
Fantastic performance and score once again. Peke tried his hardest to get on towards him. We see Soaz rushing out with those home guards, thinking they could maybe try and get a pick, and with Reckless there, it is a possibility, but KT Bullets don't seem interested in this one. They're going to push on through. They've got so much damage on that turret that fnatic cannot defend it, and they just roll away with yet another inhibitor turret down. KT Bullets are looking flawless in this third match.
It is doing absolutely everything correct here, giving fnatic no chance of actually farming up. They just force fights constantly, push down all the turrets, and fnatic, they just need to more or less hope for a miracle here. You need to have the absolute perfect team fight where Reckless, he picks up a pentakill, then you have the next team fight, he gets another pentakill, and then he will just solo carry your team.
That's the thing. That could happen if you're not so far behind. Let's compare the mid laners. Athene's and Holy Grail and a needlessly large rod here for Peke is going to struggle with it with his blue buff. On the other side, you've got a Gragas who's got a Rabadon's death cap, Athene's Void Staff, actually picking up elixirs because he wants that extra power now as well.
Yeah, he knows the game is pretty much done. That's why they're just going for it. It's like, boys, let's buy some potions. Let's just group up and let's finish this game. Inhibitor has spawned in the top lane, but of course, don't forget that's fully exposed, as is the bottom. And they really just need to get them waves pushed up there. We see Soaz desperately trying to get that bottom wave cleared out, trying to buy themselves some time, but they don't really even need the waves anymore because they've proven that in a straight-up fight, they are stronger.
And Soaz now, he's pushing up the bot lane here, so KT Bullets will just be going 5 members down for this inhibitor. Baron is up, but they don't need it. They don't need this buff. They can just focus on the base.
Soaz needs to be recalling right now, but it's not going to happen. Now he's going back, but it's too little, too late. Inhibitor going down. Hook does not land on score. That's what they wanted, but it's not what they're going to get. They're going to rotate round. They've got super minions rolling up this mid lane. Come straight down towards that bottom, get themselves the third and final inhibitor, and have that double super minion spawning up fnatic.
Oh, this could be bad. The barrel taking Peke down by half HP. They're going on towards that third and final inhibitor. Here comes the man drop from Cyanide. This fight has to work out for them. In the end, he pulls off, but they managed to get on to score. That's the kill that fnatic were looking for, but can they get any more? Cyanide going very low. Lee Sin right in the middle of them. Peke trying to do the damage. Reckless in no man's land there. He's going to be finished off as well. That's 4 versus 4 now. The 2 AD carries are down and out of this fight, but the super minions flowing into that base. fnatic are actually going to push through. They get the stun on towards Ryu. Soaz is there as well. He's fighting with Mappa on the top side. Leopard tanking the rest of the team up, and Mappa does go down. The Bullets have to try and back out.
The Bullets back out, but they've got all the inhibitors, and super minions are all over the Nexus turrets. fnatic, they may well have got on score, but when you've got Insec in your team, they just pick out Reckless from the crowd and just punt him to the walls of KT Bullets. Everybody waited. fnatic buy themselves a little bit of time, but it's simply a respite.
And to make it all worse, Mafaf, just before he died, actually managed with the last auto attack to get the inhibitor, so all 3 are now gone. And KT Bullets, they can either go to Baron, get the buff, and then go down for the last team fight, or simply just run straight down there if they don't want to risk Cyanide stealing the Baron.
Cyanide is by Baron there, just getting walled down, and Rio says, I'm going to kill you, mate. Throws in his ultimate onto him, another barrel sliding through. Going to get slowed there by Soaz, who actually jumped back in. Not sure that's a good choice, though, Soaz. He's surely going to fall from this one. The Q comes down. Lee Sin's got his kick ready if he needs it. He doesn't need it. Ryu gets the kill.
There's a lantern, buddy, but you're going to have to walk a distance to get it. And when there's 4 members all on your face, it's not going to happen. KT Bullets move in. All the super minions rolling with them. Reckless is long away and actually trying to get rid of a super minion at the moment so he can recall, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be too late. The Nexus turrets are going to fall, and this could be the Bullets finishing the game.
Pushing straight in, the first Nexus turret does go down. The man drop will be a last-ditch effort here from fnatic. Second Nexus turret has already gone down, and the KT Bullets are going straight in there. Yellow Star going to be focused. Insect might just drop. No, he won't. Shield from Karma will save him from that one. Score gonna fall though, but the Nexus is at half HP. They're gonna dive straight back in once again. Peke gets himself the double kill, but the super minions are surely too much. There goes the Nexus. The KT Bullets are the Intel Extreme Masters World Champions here. A clean sweep coming in over Fnatic.
And KT Bullets simply outplayed Fnatic in every single aspect this game. They were looking so strong. From early game to mid game, the vision control was there, and some very good picks. The champ selects were won by them every single game.
Dominating performance clearly from the Koreans. Last year we saw in Katowice, Gambit did manage to stop the Korean route that was potentially coming from Blaze and Frost, but this time around KT Rolster Bullets have come with something to prove from Korea, and I feel they've done it. It has been an impeccable performance. They've not dropped a single game in this tournament.
Going straight through there, and there were some questions about how strong they're going to be with Leopard there in the top lane and Insect back into the jungle, but I think clean sweeping Fnatic here 3-0 in the final, and clean sweep in the tournament, frankly, not losing a single game. And see there in the middle of the stage, KT Rolster Bullets, the champions of the Intel Extreme Masters. Season 8 here, gonna lift the trophy. First though, I think rightly so as well, a shake of hands there with Fnatic, a team that struggled really in the earlier stages of the tournament, had some good performances though on their way to the grand final. Definitely shouldn't be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, and it's a team that's come into this tournament really out of form, and we'll see how that affects them in the European LCS, but for now, they really have turned this one round, and KT Bullets, they are the Intel Extreme Masters World Champions.
and gentlemen, we have our champions. That also means that we're going to have our prize ceremony. And to assist me with that one, I'd like to ask two gentlemen on stage from Turtle Poland, Krzysztof Fiekowicz, and the president of Katowice, Piotr Jursok. Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit closer. First off, your runner-up for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. They had an amazing run. Give them a grand applause. fnatic! cheering for Fnatic. But we have to give credit to this team. They had an amazing run. They didn't drop a single game the entire tournament. Your Intel X3 Masters World Champions, the KT roster Bullets. Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing tournament it has been here in Katowice. And of course, it couldn't happen without the help of our sponsors. So I'd really like to thank Intel, of course, BenQ, HyperX, and Cooler Master helping us out as always. And then, of course, I want to thank you guys right here, Katowice. You are amazing. That's going to do it from all of us here at the Intel X3 Masters World Championship. From myself, from the Fisho, Joe, D-Man, Quickshot, Froggen, and Crepo, of course, and the entire live broadcast crew. Thank you so much. See you next year.